is just being like a little jumping bean today. He's very quiet in the mornings, very mellow, but in the afternoons it's another story. It's another dog. Yes, I'm talking about you, sir, because he's like right behind me. But I need to hold him because if I let him loose, all you're gonna hear, "Hey, Superwoman." Hey, King Isaac. Hey, 11 Brand. Hey, 11 Brand.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't stop super teasing about our conversation today. Can you tell?
It looks beautiful. I know.
Thank you. You both do too, as always. Come on.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Heart eyes. Excuse me 1 second.
Hi, Gizmo. Sweetie pie. My sweetie pie. Gizmo, I loved your picture with the teeth, with your teeth showing. That was so cute when you get the full cheese. The full cheese was perfect. I'm a woman of cosplay.
Hi, Auntie. Hey, Groovy. Hey, Groovy.
Hey.
Oh, man. Hey, cosplay waifu. Hey, Slim Joan. Hello. Hey, Jessica. Hey, everybody. And thank you, everyone, for coming in. Yes, a pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
So, hey, Son of Light. Hey. Are we ready to get started? Yeah, you ready? You ready?
Let's do it.
Yes! Oh my gosh. Okay. So, everybody, welcome to the panel, Panhandling, Impacting Social Media Experience. And we are Divas on a Dime, and we have the beautiful Superwoman 2.0. Woo!
Thank you.
And we're going to be discussing panhandling, but we want to open with a disclaimer. So, guys, there may be some things that may not be for everybody in this panel, and we are adults. We can respectfully express ourselves, but if we see any vulgar comments, any foul language, anything like that, you will get booted out, and we don't care whose name is attached to it. That's right. All right.
Oh my goodness. Perfect. That was perfect.
Thank you all. All right. So I guess to start, like, what is panhandling? If anybody wants to maybe talk about what they think that means to them. Right.
I don't know. I just straight up think it's people that, just ask, or I guess we're just gonna even say beg, keep constantly throwing themselves out there for financial assistance, but it's in a way of where it's almost harassing. You know what I mean? I would say.
Exactly. Yeah. Facts. And just to, I guess, go into it a little bit more, we did look it up on online in the dictionary. So we got it from the Merriam-Webster dictionary, and it says panhandling, to stop people on the street and ask for food or money, to beg. And I guess just kind of like, I mean, they're talking about on the street, but I mean, with COVID, we're all indoors and everything now. So it's kind of transitioned to it being virtual. Right. Which makes it a little bit more bothersome. Right. But yeah. I don't know, like, what do you think, Anne, as far as, like, I mean, I know there's a lot of things, like, COVID's hit everybody, like, hard, like, in so many different ways, but just, I mean, I don't know, I'm sure maybe some people may have exhausted all efforts to try to, get the funds for whatever it is they may actually need, but I don't know, why do you think some people, like, maybe just go to, like, just like with the panhandling and just so aggressively?
I think it's because it's easier, right? It's easy. It's easier to just ask other people and see what happens instead of making an actual effort. Do you know what I mean? Like people, and now with COVID, it's just like it's an excuse,
right?
I think it's an excuse now, just for a reason to start asking people for money, and it's
Agreed.
easy. I think it's just because it's easier. That's what I think.
Yeah, and then just like with the virtual, like you're saying, easier because it's like you can reach so many people online with it
Right.
more so than like people out on the street begging. But yeah, it is a lot
Right.
easier.
Hmm.
Yeah. And like the other thing too is just I mean, and it's just like it's crazy because I feel like I mean social media has connected us and we've got
Right.
to meet lovely people such as yourself on here. But I feel like, with it
Exactly.
too, I feel like on here though that some people have kind of like and that may not be their intent, but with anybody that's being dishonest as far as what they're using those funds for, I feel like they kind of have taken advantage of people's kindness
Right.
and like exploited, that emotional connection that, people have made like on here, like online.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion. But no, I
No,
feel you.
I'm with you. Yeah, I agree. Totally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And what else? And I mean another thing too, like I mean it's just I know like and what you're saying like people like kind of using COVID as like an excuse. I mean there are like some legit things that have like kind of like happening as a result of it, but I don't
Of
know like
course.
but it's just like
It's hard.
it's hard. Like I mean like when I see like posts that people may need help, it's like it pulls on my heartstrings. Like me and Kendra both, and I'm sure yourself too. And it's like you want to jump in and help, but it's like am I actually really giving to somebody that really needs it? Because I mean, we're all struggling out here to like make ends
Right.
meet.
I mean, exactly. We have bills to pay too, and that's what I always say. I have bills to pay. I have medical bills, all types of bills, regular utility bills. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? And then I'm helping other family members too. Do you know what I mean? So people don't know the behind the scenes story. And I always, and let me know if I'm jumping the gun, but I have some suggestions. Like I even said, like when people start to ask for money, like let's start with a few things first. Can we please try to take a personal loan out? Okay, or if you have like available credit on your credit card, can we try a cash advance first too to see if that's all possible? Because that's what I would do first. Okay, and then I
Right.
understand that some people aren't in the same situation where they may not be able to have like a credit limit or a high credit limit or whatever, but can we try like to apply for some type of loan first? And then how about we even start with family members before you go out to the public too? Like, you know what I mean? Like if because I know some people may have some bad situations with family where they can't ask them, but
Right.
can we try like those steps first? Like do everything you can in your power is what I'm saying before you have to actually have the nerve, because that takes a lot of nerves and a guts to ask for help like that. You know what I mean? For me personally, I'm gonna do everything I can before I even have to go to that last resort. I'll get a second job. How about that one?
Yeah,
before
exactly.
before I
Yeah.
have to even ask people, because that's just me. I can't do that. And it's always been in me, like since childhood, and my dad always just tried to instill in us, like, you don't ask people for money. You do everything on your own, and that's all I know. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do everything I can before I try to reach out to people. And I feel horrible. I can't have that over my head knowing I owe you like money. It doesn't sit well with me. I can't do
Right.
that.
And
Yeah.
another thing too, it's like, because it's like some people that we do know personally that are struggling, but they don't want to ask for the help. Like it's kind of, I get maybe I don't know, like a pride thing. Like they don't want to ask for it. Like and behind closed doors, they're going to food banks and things like that. Like they refuse to ask people for help.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like some people, because of all of
Right.
this going on, I feel like some people that that do legit need the
Right.
help, they are reluctant to because they see so much of it of
Right.
other people doing it. And it's just sad because they could actually be getting the help that they need, from friends that they've made connections with on
Right.
here that will be willing to help
But they
them.
don't. Right. And they don't want to look like they're right.
But
Right.
I don't know. I'm just like, and the other thing too, like if anybody that may be being dishonest or not forthcoming about how they're spending these funds, because I mean, like I've seen like situations of people, um, they're asking for money, they're saying they're in dire straits, but then I see them going to a convention, they have like a
Yes.
new cosplay every weekend. I mean,
Yes.
I'm trying to wrap my head around that. I don't understand. I'm like, we all are, dealing with something financially. Like, I mean, I have like 70,000 in debt due to student loans.
Yeah.
But I'm not on here asking people to pay that for me, you know? So
Exactly.
it's just,
Exactly.
I don't get it.
Your responsibility before you actually reach out to people for help. You know,
Right.
it's different. Like if you're on the verge of like, I'm about to be on the street, I need help. That's totally different. You know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, I'm going to do what I can for you. I'm going to help you. And, you know, I don't want people on here thinking that we're trying to knock anybody that's asking for help. It's just like, no, it's just certain situations. If, you know, like something's happening financially and you need our financial help, you do the GoMe fund, you do the Kickstarters, you do the, you know, Cash App, whatever. That's okay. Like if you're going through something and we're here to help and the community's here to support you. But it gets
Yeah.
crazy when you know, you may ask, like, you know, there's someone I know that just recently asked everybody for money and then just recently asked again. And that was kind of weird for me because I'm like, wow, that took a lot of guts to ask again.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody helped out so much the first time and they collected beyond their goal of money. So I'm like, so what's going on? You know what I mean? Where we have to start looking at, well, what's going on with you that you have to continuously ask the community? And it's okay for everybody to support and feel like that's okay to do. But for me, I had a lot of question marks going on in my head, like light bulbs, like, what's going on? Like, how can you ask twice?
Right.
Or 3 times? Or all the time? We have a lot of them that ask all the time on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Which I'm making a segue. Yeah, I'm making a big segue into personal experiences.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel you. We're not like name dropping or anything like that or shaming anybody. I mean, you know, we don't know what people's like situations are, but we're just saying that there's other routes you can take before, you know, I mean, going to that level of like doing like the different like avenues online of asking online.
And I just want to say too, like I said, we're not trying to name drop or be funny, but is this, especially with the cosplay, is this something new? Where, you know, like a custom thing with cosplay, like people are asking for money so they can get cosplays. Because I'm just like, it seems like this came out of nowhere. I'm seeing like different posts from people wanting money for cosplays and wigs and all this stuff. I'm just like, is this something new?
Yeah, it definitely came out of nowhere. I would say it's been like the past 2 months. So when I ended my show in July, when I no, it was August. I don't know. I don't remember whatever month I ended my show. We had the season finale. I don't know. But I was consistently reached out to. And no lie, it's been over 75 people in the past 2 months that have reached out to me. And they told me, like in some examples, are like, oh, you know, I see that you're doing so good with your show, or you're giving promo kits away, so, or you look like you're doing pretty good for yourself. You know, can you help me out? Or and then it's like sending links and their cash apps and everybody asking for money. And, you know, I've had someone ask me to meet them at a location because we're in the same state, to meet them 45 minutes away to give them money. Like, it's been wild, and it's just been the most outlandish request, and just the nerve of people. I don't understand. Like, and it's all to pay to support my cosplays. Or listen, I've done over 80 cosplays. I haven't asked anybody for any money. Okay, so if I could do over 80 plus without asking anybody, and even if you do closet cosplay, or, you know, like take some clothes from your closet and do it, there's so many ways that you can be creative with cosplay without having to ask people, and then making this like a full-time career and wanting people to support you. That's crazy.
It is.
Like, you know, like the average person is what, living off of like 40,000, like for work is like $40,000. So trust me, you're not gonna make 40,000 like in cosplay unless, like, you know, like you're the big timers, the big timer cosplayers. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have enough money to make it all add up to 40K for you to be able to, you know, support a lifestyle of cosplay.
Right.
And don't ask for our benefits included, because what you doing for health benefits?
Yeah. And no PTO, but I guess, you know,
exactly.
Handling, I mean, I guess we're paying it. I don't know, but listen, they had interviewed a panhandler. This was years ago, downtown on the street, local news, and he said how much he makes a day. Like, he paid like in the thousands. Oh yeah, I was like, Wait a minute.
What's the world? Are you kidding me? I was like, he's gonna have to go to a new town. Everyone knows that you're a fraud.
Exactly. The jig is up.
Yeah. That's a perfect way to say it.
Right.
Definitely. It's wild. And I just want everybody to like at least try. And it's making the community for me toxic. Like my end results are I don't really want to cosplay anymore, guys. This is awful. Like
No,
I
and
haven't I know I haven't put any material out there because I'm so bombarded with messages from either like asking for money to what can I do to help people to, even criticisms to negative stuff, which is a whole different topic. But it's insane and it's making the experience for me on IG like not fun anymore. And I didn't know that this turned into we're all gonna just be on here to ask everybody for money to all support our cosplays. When less than a year ago, it wasn't even like this, right? We didn't have this problem less than a year ago. We were all supporting each other and everybody's here for each other and everybody's doing everything. And again, like you said, I really think it was the pandemic,
Right.
which plays a role into it.
Exactly.
And a lot of people love jobs on that too, but you that's when you have to start thinking about priorities. What's important? Like yes, cosplay is important, but you got to think about personal life first. That's what comes first. You got to take care of you first before you jump into like, oh, I'm going to do cosplay world and everybody needs to support me.
Exactly.
No, you got to a roof's over your head and you're doing what you're supposed to do before you want to do the cosplay thing.
Cosplay is not a necessity, and it's just like I don't know if I'm kind of like going to a different topic, but it's like I feel like some of the people on here they want to be famous like influencers or something, and it's just like
Yeah.
it's like yes, there are some big name cosplayers, but they have other hustles. Like they don't just go to cons and prance around in costumes to take pictures. Like they have other businesses. It's like you constantly have to keep grinding. So I don't know if they realize that or what. It's like if they're living in a fantasy world or something, but it's like, yo, you have to keep on working if that's your goal. And I mean, and if that is have a 9 to 5 and you could do that on the side. But to sit there and think about staying home all day and people online to support your dream, that's not cool. You know?
I totally agree. And it's sad. And I shouldn't let this whole thing like bring me down, but it really has. And I've tried to because it just hasn't stopped. That's why I was like, this is crazy. Like as soon as I open it, it's like somebody's like, hey, can you support me with this? Or can you just give me money here? I'm gonna send you a link. Well, you seem like you're doing pretty good for yourself. So I'm like, it's just makeup and a wig. I'm good. Like that doesn't mean like, you know what I mean, the background story. You know what I mean? Of like what really goes on. People don't understand. And I don't think they care. They just
Right.
want money.
That makes me sad, seriously. Like we miss seeing your cosplays. That makes me sad.
I don't know. I've lost all steam and all interest. I love watching everybody else's stuff. I still support. I still support everybody's pictures and everybody's great. And I don't know. I'm not as far. I remember what I know we've always said this to each other offline or off topic. We always say like when it's not fun anymore, that's when like it's time to leave. You know what I mean? But I'm still on here because, like I said, dude, we have there's still people on here that are positive and great. And, those people keep you going and you want to help motivate and inspire those people. And I'm happy that I am able to bring some inspiration to some people. But then it's still sad because it's draining. Yeah. And like cosplay wafu, yes, she says definitely exhausting mentally. It is because it messes with your mind and it's not, is it really worth it? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it really worth,
Right.
when I know I can just hit the log out button and then I was worried about it,
Right.
but I don't know. Oh, I see, Kurt clothing. Thank you. It's just like, please don't let these little things stop your passion. Thank you. I know. And I still have like tons of cosplay that I still have that I'm holding hostage that I haven't done yet because I'm just trying to get over this little hump right now of the constant drama in the community that's just making things pretty depressing.
Right.
It's sad.
It is sad.
And I know like there's a lot of resources that people can do and try. And I just think people don't want to.
They don't.
Want to.
They don't.
They don't want to.
They don't. They want to just do. They want to do what they want to do. It just, and it's just like I said, you want to go to conventions, you want to do the elaborate cosplays, you got to work for it. I don't know, it just irks me. Like, why do you feel that everybody has to pay for your cosplays and all that? Like, get a job, and it's frustrating.
Yes, exactly. Let me just see. Mark Handel said, "Yeah, I feel bad when someone reaches out because what is it? Because the assumption is I put together a decent cosplay and must have funds to spare." That's true.
Right.
And Mark Handel, I don't know if you follow him, Divas, but Mark Handel's cosplays are amazing, and the Doctor Doom and everything he does is amazing.
Oh,
And it looks like if you shell out a lot of money, it looks like it. If not, you do an amazing job of making it seem like that. But just like in his experience too, like when people see those expensive looks on the cosplays, they think that you have the money for it, and that's not really the case. It's like you made that, put it together, you grabbed a few pieces here and there, and you put it together. It didn't cost a lot, but then like I don't know what this is turning into. Like it's getting crazy now. It really is.
and I wanted to mention too, because we have such big hearts, and people in the comments that are like us, we just wanted to talk about like the safety and things like this, because like
Yeah.
our personal experiences, we had people beg for money and there was no profile picture or anything, very suspicious. We had like a gentleman DM us and said that he had like an orphanage in Africa and he wanted money for it, but it looked like he got the pictures off of Google, and he was just
Yeah.
like, just I forgot what form of payment like he wanted us to send it to, but it was just very like fishy, and
It was
some
sketchy. Yeah.
yeah, sketchy, and some people they're so kind, or maybe a little naive, and they would give the money, and it's just like we don't want that to happen. So for like anyone that's in here listening, like if you have like any like weird like anonymous profiles begging for money, don't do it. Like don't even respond to it.
Mm-hmm. I
Right.
definitely agree. It's crazy. And that's been happening all across the board with scammers too. Yep, I was just gonna say it, but they put it there. Melanated Velma. Yep,
Yeah.
it's scammers too that are out there, and everybody's trying to steal your identity, take your money, do
Yeah.
whatever it is they can, and it's scary at the same time. And it's like I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like it's easier for me to just hit the log out button and let a few days go by before I come back in and check what drama awaits for what money. Who's asking for money today? It's what it is how I approach it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
And else too, did you want to add too, just for like people that may have like might be friends or something with money too?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna say this because from my own personal experience, this happened to me like IRL, not on IG, but I would just say that, of course, if you have like friends or, even family that you like, maybe they come on part time and they, confide in you and, like saying that they need money. Um, you want to still have like that same level of caution. Hear them out, don't like immediately judge and things like that. But I mean, if you feel in your heart to give, don't put yourself like in a bad way to do that. Give whatever it is that you can if you feel that strongly about it. But just be observant, and if you see that there's patterns to like a person's behavior and them
Mhm.
asking,
Yep.
definitely want to be like leery of that, because I mean at that point that person's taking advantage of your kindness and your friendship, and that's not a friend,
Right.
especially if they're it's conditional, whether or not you give to them and they still want to continue to be your friend. That's not a friend.
Right.
So
Right.
Just gotta be leery of that, because people will take advantage if you allow them to.
I've had it happen to me before. Like I loaned a friend money it was like back in college. They they were like a few dollars short on like the tuition, and I loaned it to them with the intent that I explained that they do need to pay me back. And when it
Yeah.
came around, they like totally like ran and didn't want to try to pay me back. So yeah.
Like they never borrow money from you. That's how they act. Like they never even borrowed it.
Exactly. Like what money? Like, excuse me?
They went ghost on you.
Exactly. It's just like, come on. Like that was already explained. Like, that it's a loan. It's not a gift. So
And I think like what I want to say is like it's in my like for me, I feel bad because it's like I'm a nice person sincerely.
You are.
And it's like when I hear these stories and stuff like, and this is I think how I like fell into the whole trap of it is like when it first started to happen, I was giving to them because I'm like, oh my God, like oh my God, yes, oh my God,
Same
something's
thing.
wrong. Oh my God, we're here. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna help you, and that's just my instinct, and that's my problem sometimes. Like I always say, like I'll take the shirt off my back for anybody, but now I gotta watch out for that too because
Right.
it's been taken full advantage of. And then when some people get wind of you helping other people out, you know what I mean? And then people are checking, like, if you do the GoMe fund and stuff, like, how it records like what you gave, right?
Uh-huh.
Like your name and everything, or if you put a comment, like people are watching those too and trying to see like, oh, she gave $100, she gave, and then that's when those same people, like will try to just see and reach out to you too to see what they can get from you since they looked on, somebody's GoMe fund and saw that you contributed too. So it's a lot of things to be careful of, or that's why I guess I just put anonymous on those, and you know what I mean? Like instead of picking your name, that's probably like one thing to be careful of. Like don't pick your name. Like do the anonymous thing. Just show that someone anonymously gave like $100.
yeah.
Just to protect yourself. But
Right.
and I think that's my downfall is like just being a nice person, and then I'm stuck in a situation now where I'm like I'm over it and I can't help anymore. And I've gotten a lot of backlash from some people too about when I post on my story because everybody's been noticing now that my stories have been getting a little more like, can you please stop asking for money? Like, and everybody's saying like, what's wrong? What's going on? Like everybody's saying you're starting to send like these different type of messages and it's not really about cosplay. I'm like, because people are making it not about cosplay for me. Everybody's asking for money every day and I don't know how this is happening.
Yeah. Poor
Now I'm like posted like music songs about money.
We have to make a joke about it. But you know what, Ann? You know what, though? It's more so Christy. I'm nice too, to a certain extent. But
We love you, Ann.
We love you, Ann. But Christy, she is so, so, so sweet. But I told her, you have to learn to say no. And there's nothing wrong with saying no.
Right.
You got,
right. Of course.
you got to. Because people, I'm telling you, they will take full advantage.
And as long as you keep saying yes, they're gonna keep on asking.
Their hands are gonna be out like this. My mother had a friend that was so nice at work, and it was a lady that was a user. She had treated her to lunch, and she started making a habit of it. She's like, oh, she treated me to lunch, on her break, and she started getting used to her buying her lunch every day. Our mom had to talk to her friend and tell her, look, you gotta stand up for yourself and tell her, no, this is not an everyday, all day affair. Like, you buy your own lunch.
Right.
If I wanted to be nice to treat you, but this is not going to be every day.
Exactly.
Right. You took it way too far. That's when it gets out of hand. And then it's like the nerve of you to get that comfortable with it too. Like that's what I don't understand about people. Like I don't know. I just wasn't raised like that. Like
yeah.
I'm terrified to even ask people for anything. Do you know what I mean? Like I just do everything like on my own. Like on my own because that's just how I know how to do it. And I can share an experience with you. So I would say probably about 3 years ago, when I was unemployed. This is before I had the cancer diagnosis. When I was unemployed, I ended up taking after unemployment ended. I was laid off, then unemployment ended, and then I started a new job as a temp. And the money wasn't enough to pay like what I had because I lived by myself and my sister didn't live too far down from me or whatever. Now I never ask people for money. I've never have, and I just can't. You know what I mean? It's not in me to ask. So I had some bills that I had to pay, and I was like $250 short like every time. So it was like for 2 months. And then I ended up having to ask my sister, and notice I said sister first, not people. I
Right.
asked my sister for 250 and she gave it to me. And then it tortured me so bad, even if it's my sister. I couldn't even sleep at night knowing that that was. So you know what Annie Pooh did? You know what Super Woman 2.0 did? Went online, applied for a better job, I went on tons of interviews. I would not stop until I ended up making what needed to cover what needed to cover. So I got a job that ended up paying me $5 more than what I was making. I did not stop until I got a better job because I was like, I can't do this. I can't go on asking her. So I got the job, and then as soon as I had the 250, I gave it right back to her. And she was like, "You don't have to." And I'm like, "No, it's not about I don't have to. It's just like I can't have the IOU over my head. It doesn't feel right. It
Right.
doesn't feel right. I'm not comfortable with it." So my whole point of that story is that I made efforts and steps. Like, I'm going to keep looking for a job. I'm going to try to find a better job. I'm going to use whatever resources I have to do. If I have to take some courses to learn how to broaden my skills to get some other job, that's what I'm going to do. I'll try Allison course. I'll try, like, there's a ton of resources out there.
That's
You know
right.
what I mean? To update resume to get what you have to do. Like, let's try all that first before
That's
reaching out. And again, like I said, with family members too, it's like I asked my sister first before asking the community.
that's right.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's
My
right.
story. I was
That's
like insane.
That's right though. And then like to piggyback off of what you were saying, like some of the people that we've experienced, they keep harassing for money. And like Christy was saying, all the time that's being spent online harassing people for money, put in for some job applications, which we'll get to
Yes.
that. There's so
Okay.
many places that are hiring. And there's people that will take you just like that. Like, shoot, you apply, they won't even like you know how an interview goes. They just like, all right, you're hired. When can you start? So I'm like,
Right.
there's places
Right.
that's hiring, and yes, it may not be a job that you want to do, but it's a job nonetheless. So it's like
It's more money than you had before.
right,
Because God knows I've done so many jobs I ain't
yeah,
want to
and you have income. Sometimes you have to do jobs that you don't want to do. Sometimes you have to work jobs where you don't like the shifts, the hours, and days, but you gotta do what you gotta do. It's
do.
called adulting,
Right.
unless you
And
want
it's
to.
called sacrifice and priorities too. Because you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like if you don't want to have to do that, you're gonna have to make a sacrifice of something where it's just like, look, I know this sucks. Like
Right.
I know it does, but I gotta do what I gotta do so I don't have
Mm-hmm.
to bother people. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? So you gotta find that mental little pocket to get back into the matrix realm, the blue pill, and work. Do that 9 to 5 blue pill. Okay. And
I
then
know. Think about the Dolly Parton song.
Oh, we're 9 to 5.
it is. It's like you have to go work into the matrix. You have to go in the matrix because you don't have to make this a sci-fi thing any chance I get. So you have to go into the matrix to work because that's like the phony part of your life, but you're making a sacrifice knowing that it's taking care of your priorities, which are those bills. So you don't have to bother people. So
Right.
that's what I'm doing.
Exactly.
That's
Because
what I'm doing.
like it's unnecessary like stress. You know what I mean? It's like something that's kind of like that you have to do. So I mean,
Right.
and like you guys were saying, I mean, with the time that everybody's online, like use it constructively.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Right.
mean, snag a job. They have like the shifts where you can go and apply on there and pretty much like maybe like within 24 hours or like the same day, you could have like a job that you work like for that one day for like you have like specific hours that you need to work. Like maybe you have
Right.
kids, you have school, whatever the point may be, and you can, work that shift and it may turn into like a full-time gig. And we're not saying that, people can't like pursue if they want to be a full-time
Right.
content creator. But in the midst or meanwhile, while you're trying to pursue that, like, you have to have like some kind of, your bread and butter.
Right.
Because on
Right.
here, putting the videos out and stuff, it's fun, but right now it's not taking care of the obligations that you have to take care of, you know? So you work through that till you get where you want to be.
And I wanted to say that too, like with YouTubers, plenty of big YouTubers that we know that have full-time 9 to 5 jobs and they do YouTube on the side. And yes, there's some YouTubers that is their bread and butter, but they work for it. Like they were working a 9 to 5 while they were, doing YouTube videos on the side, and they're lucky enough to, I guess, get the big subscribers to where they could make that, a living off of that. So yeah, you can't just just stay at home putting videos out all day and not have a job and just, expect an income. Like, you gotta work.
Or prancing around
Yeah.
at a convention and just
Right.
taking pictures in costumes. Like, that, I mean, people have like a misconception about what it is to be like, doing like content creating and
Right.
things like that. Like, you can't sit there and take advantage of the people that are supporting you
Right.
and, just continue to hound some of them and ask them for money. Like, that's not how that works. Like, there's companies and things like that, they like you and they sponsor you. That's how that works.
Right. And I wanted to say, I'm sorry, looking at the comments. Harry Potter said, I work federal. Anyone need help getting position, I'm always willing to help. And that's what we need on this community. Post job
Yes,
listings.
resources.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Real Woman said it takes at least 10 years to become an overnight sensation. Yes. Yep.
Very true.
Very true.
So yeah, like yeah, Harry Potter, like please, I think that's that if that's the username, I'm sorry. Like please post that on your story or, for people to know how to reach out to you and let you know. And I appreciate you for putting that out there
Yeah.
for people that are watching this too. And for people that aren't watching that follow you, like just to know that they can do that as a resource. So thank you for putting that up.
Thank you, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But that's what we need, post job listings, courses, anything, anybody. And that goes for us. I mean, if anybody needs help, like y'all can DM us and we'll send you links to jobs and all that.
Resources. Just something else to throw out there. I know like in like Virginia anyway, like particularly like in Chesterfield County, like the social services department, they have a lot of resources as far as like with like resume building, job interview skills, things like that to like, help people to get back on their feet and getting back into work and getting like income in, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
and I forgot to mention too, Grow with Google. Grow with Google has free online courses that you can take, free webinars for like job skills, and like Chrissy was saying, like resume building, interview skills. So definitely, if anyone needs help with that, go to Grow with Google. So it's a lot of things out there on the internet. So it's like, use your time wisely on the internet.
yeah, something that's gonna help and benefit you. I mean, it's fun putting out the videos, but at the same time, meanwhile, the post office, they're still putting in the bills in the mailbox.
Right.
And they gotta get paid somehow. So
Exactly. That was well said. Yes.
You can't help everyone. Well, that's true. That is true.
people have to want to help themselves.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Indeed and Facebook group. Yep.
Yeah, they will send you jobs. Because when I was looking, like, I made a profile and they were sending me jobs. And I was putting in, you gotta do what you gotta do.
That's right. Hello, Linwood. Hi, Miss Teely.
Hey.
What else? Was there anything else we wanted to add?
I know, I'm trying to think, like, did we get everything out? I know that I, shared what's been going on with me in cosplay realm with this as a result of this wild pandemic we like to call panhandling. It's what I want to say, right?
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say too, one more thing, like if you go to USA.gov, on there, it will, whatever area, state that you're in, you can get connected with where your local social services department is. You can find out what services they offer. And, if you need food, I
Mhm.
mean, there's no shame in getting help. There's
Yeah.
food stamps, you know what I mean? Medicaid, if you
Right.
need medical assistance. I was on Medicaid for a little bit, so you do what you have to do.
That's right.
But yeah.
And I'm
Real
thinking,
Woman Cosplay said, Indeed and LinkedIn. Yes,
yeah.
those are
Mhm.
resources as well. Indeed's really good because that's where I just recently like got my job that I just started about a month. Well, it'll be officially a month that I started my new job. But
Yay!
they are like insane. And they will always like contact you like day and night, night and day
Yeah.
based off your resume. Like all it does, they match you up to, they see your profile saying, oh, this job fits, what you guys have. So these are the suggestions. And it's really, really easy to apply, click and apply. Sometimes you have to do like apply on company website,
Right.
but most of it just takes you directly to the employer, and then the employer sees that, and Indeed is a really good source. That's been really successful for me.
It really has, and also for people, since like everyone is like this phone obsession. While you're scrolling on the phone, go on Indeed. If you already have like your resume, all that, you can apply to jobs on your phone through Indeed. A lot of places, Simply Hired, Career Builder, Glassdoor, like a lot of jobs
Yes.
is like mobile
Yep.
versions where you can apply right on your phone.
To make it very easy.
Yeah, it's very easy and simple. If you already have like a resume up, just yeah.
And what I appreciate about you ladies is like you both are so wonderful and productive. Like I love how in the middle of doing this panhandle conversation that you still are able to provide resources and help for people. This is beautiful. I think this is such a great idea. Instead of us like sitting here complaining about everything, about what's happening, we're showing everybody a solution. So I really appreciate both of you for doing that. It's really cool to just have the resources and that we're sharing them with people,
Yeah.
because I wanted to stop on my page. So anybody that's on here that is panhandling me, can you stop, please?
Please leave Ann alone. Leave our Ann alone.
We're gonna come for you. We're gonna come for you. Leave our Ann alone.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, please.
Back to some stuff that will actually make me to fund my cosplay and buy some milk. This is great though.
Oh my
Mark
god.
and
But yeah,
It's
and
great.
then
And Mark, congratulations too on your runway fashion show. That was amazing in New York. So
Nice.
yeah, you guys need to follow him if you're not following. Mark Hinto is amazing. So.
okay, go ahead.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Also Real Woman said, these comments are like transparent looking. Also, for any site you go to, they have a career page, so that's always a resource. They sure do.
That's right, Auntie.
Yeah.
They sure do. Thanks for putting that out there.
Mm-hmm.
So we brought up every topic. I just want to make sure, like my order of my suggested order of how people should do before they ask people for money. Start with within. So then it's like, okay, family. Okay, then if it's not even family first, like personal loan, cash advance, and then after that, if that's not good, then ask family, and then if family's not good, then okay, maybe start like a GoMe fund, and
Right.
then like if not GoMe fund not working, then maybe that's when it's like, hey, can you guys help? Like, let's try everything first before
Please.
we start.
Yes. Mark said, and Ann, thank you.
Oh.
He's awesome.
Any army hiring, new war about to start, plenty of positions opening in Afghanistan.
That is true.
That's true. I'm a teacher. I love it, but sometimes I don't like it. It's hard, but you gotta do what you gotta do. That's right, Painterfield.
Right.
You gotta push through. You got to push through.
Right.
Yeah, the second one I call BS job or seasonal work. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Because holidays are coming up, and I'm sure, like, especially like right now, there's a lot of openings like in retail.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, you're out shopping. Like, I know Walmart's hiring. I was thinking about getting another part-time job. So you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And what else too? Like just other things too. Like if you rather, I guess like work from home. What like DoorDash? What's the one? Instacart.
Instacart.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Uber Eats.
Yeah.
It's
Yup. Yup.
There are plenty of things, and they make it so easy. I used to do DoorDash. It's pretty fun too.
It was fun. Yup. I used to go with her when she did her DoorDash. Yeah, it was fun. Cut grass. Yeah. There's a lot of things you can do. Yeah.
It is.
Oh, pet. It's another one too.
Wag.
Wag, and there's another one, Rover, where you can make a profile and you can pet sit or dog walk too. Yeah. And some people in there
wow.
will pay you, yeah, they will pay you good for their dogs.
Because people love their animals.
Yeah.
We love our gizmos.
Yeah, Rover and Wag. And then Sitter City, like if you like kids, babysitting kids, or is it, what's it called? Nanny something?
I can't remember. There's another one too where you can like you can put a profile like cleaning, and like some people like like rich people, they need help cleaning their house, like they'll pay you good money to do
they'll pay you good.
So yes.
I was like, let me get my can of Lysol.
You get the yellow glove like next to your mom.
Yeah, it's a lot of places hiring.
Exactly.
Yep. So I don't know, but I think we covered everything.
I think we covered everything.
I think we did great. I think that we're, helping spread the message and the word and get it out there. And then the fact that, again, that you have the resources, so we're not complaining. We're also offering a solution. Do you know what I mean? Like we're bringing up experiences that have happened, but we do want to provide a solution as well. So we have a productive conversation. We don't want everybody to think we're just on here complaining about what's happening. It's what's happening. I definitely, want to bring to everybody's attention, which we've done. And I just want it to stop. But I know that's in a perfect world. And then, like I always say, like, can't we all just cosplay? Because that's all I want to do.
Yes.
And it shouldn't turn into what it's turned into.
Right.
And I want to get back into the fun of things, and I want it to be fun again for me. And, I will still continue to support people. And again, let me throw out there too, like, just because people are asking me for money and stuff too, like, for the sincere, legit people, like I'm still here to help. Do you know what I mean? Like I still help people, or even your businesses, even supporting small businesses and all that. Like I'm here to help support. I'm here to, promote and do that as well. But just the cosplaying and help support the careers and stuff is a little crazy for me. So I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Please don't ask. Well.
And I'll say a solution for that, people, it's like there's nothing wrong with casual cosplays, closet cosplays, thrifting, going to the thrift store. Like
that's pretty fun.
It's fun. It's very fun. So yeah, you can cosplay on a budget.
Yes, definitely.
And, okay. And Harry Potter said a Patreon. You ever start a Patreon, you got my support. Oh, thank you.
All right.
Question. Oh, Blurt Over said not a question, but hey, super what?
I like that. I was like, we gotta talk later.
Oh my God.
But yes, this was definitely helpful, and I'm really glad we did this. And I hope, anybody that's watching, I hope that you all learned something or were able to take something from this. Definitely.
Right. Absolutely. One more question. Oh, Real Woman said, you're doing good.
It was an inside joke, everybody, for those that don't know.
Oh my goodness.
But
thank you.
Is there anything else? Any other plugs?
No, I got it all out.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you, Benja.
Thank you.
But
Yes.
we'll end everything, and thank you everybody that tuned
Yeah, thank
in.
you.
Thank you, Superwoman,
Yes.
for coming on here and
Yeah.
sharing.
Thank you both. All right, you too. I'm so glad we did this. And, until next time, I hope we all talk soon, okay?
Yes.
Thanks
Yes.
everybody for tuning in. Okay, guys.
Bye.